All right, we are back for map number 4 of Dartmonkeys versus Windbreaker. It's a convoy map, so I think NC, no matter what, I'm not sure if we can get a draw on this. It would be fairly difficult to do so.
It would be quite funny if we did so. But speaking of hilarity, speaking of things that are funny, speaking of hilarity, there's humor in repetition. So we're gonna continually get as much mileage out of this joke where we insta-ban Eskay's Psylocke as we can, and I'm sure they're yucking it up over there. Interestingly, Dartmonkey's gonna protect the banner and not the Hela.
Well, that's... Wait, Windbreaker now protecting what used to be Dartmonkeys protect. This has become a wild ban phase. I guess these teams are just so close after 3 maps going into a 4th that all they want to do is try and mitigate Eskay's contribution by removing the Psylocke, but she's been doing absolutely fine on the Namor thus far. Has been keeping up with DanTwist on that hero, which has been quite the task.
All right, Hela is going to be banned there by Windbreaker, so they have successfully negated both Eskay and Rigsychu, but, I mean, you've handed the banner right over to Flats, I mean, maybe you go for a Gamma Gang of your own if you're Windbreaker. That's the only way forward that I can realistically see, but with Dartmonkeys having the last ban, they do have
Iron
the
Man?
opportunity to, I say get rid of the Iron Man and just let Flats go in raw with the Hulk. Now they're going to ban Hawkeye.
For the first time in the series, when with no Hawkeye ban so far, we've seen no Hawkeye. I question the wisdom. I think that with Hela off the table, your capacity to really control vision on the Iron Man is highly limited, but I guess the Eskay was more than happy to try and meet them here. Why wouldn't they be confident, though, when it comes to going for the Gamma Gang, when Flats has been having a lights-out game on the Hulk?
Well, but like, lest we forget the trauma that Munch put Eskay through on the first map, that is very much so on the table again. Yeah, she'll never forget, I can promise you that much. I mean, both teams gonna go straight for the Gamma Gang on either side. You do have a rocket on LinkZr and hovering over, the Luna Snow for Devin. That could either go either way. Actually, gonna swap over to the rocket. Attack response. I'm not sure which one you walk out with. I don't know if it really matters all that much when you're going up against the damage that an Iron Man can put out when bolstered by 2 incredible Hulks. Yeah, like it can really go either way. It's on the needle's edge.
Hard agree here. Riggsy picks up a touch of additional HP. And wait, did the VOD get slow?
The battle starts in 5.
Oh, 1 sec. My bad.
2, 1.
I paused on 3:57 on the clock.
Okay, and unpause. Weird things happen sometimes, gamers. We're now back into it. Timey-wimey things to steal from my beloved national Doctor Who.
Well, something interesting I do kind of want to highlight is you have Riggsy back on that Punisher that we've highlighted over and over again, and I mean, she might be off it pretty quickly. A lot of damage coming out early on, able to stabilize, but you have that versus DanTwist Star-Lord. This is a really interesting duel. A lot of these players, save for Eskay, of course, playing to their strengths.
Yeah, Rigsychu just throwing out so much damage from the back of this. Eskay has returned, courtesy of that BRB. So much damage coming, courtesy of the, courtesy of a shotgun. Does mean that we do see Munch de-hulked for a moment back into banner form, and DanTwist is getting constantly harried by Eskay, who takes the corner peek, trying to force Vision out of this, but remember, Vision's got the armor overdrive on at the moment, so there's a significant advantage when it comes to this duel. Tracking challenge activated, and now Eskay has to dodge away for but a moment longer, and the support that you get by having the Luna Snow compared to the Rocket Raccoon here is kind of wild. Like, there's so much more healing that can go into Vision, who's already got themselves a Proton Torpedo.
I was gonna highlight Eskay's play. She's playing a lot more safely to try and avoid the threat of Munch just jumping on her again, and forces Munch to go in so deep. But when you find the kills, Windbreaker are able to just get that first cap. It all just kind of snowballs from there, and Dartmonkeys at the checkpoint of the first point are gonna have to try and mount something resembling a defense. They're gonna have the tools to do just that. But I mean, Eskay's angles that she's gonna be playing from, she's, like I said, gonna be playing a lot more safe. She is afraid of what happened in that first matchup there. Munch, on the other hand, has no fear.
Yeah, there's no fear in Munched for now. Vision still looking for a place to try and put this torpedo. The pulse cannon It can instantly eviscerate anyone. Eskay found, desperately tries to dodge away. She gets it done. But look at all this healing that's available. Vision will be safe to try and cast here if they do so desire. But it's going to be Rigsychu bringing out a huge amount of damage. Eskay tries to counter-strike here. Takes out Sakaki. Wanted going to be the same. Both of them taken in their prime, but not during their ult. Sakaki still has that one available elsewhere. And Dantuous with the Galactic Hero, if only it's necessary.
I mean, you're going to get the BRB res onto Rigsychu, courtesy of LinkZr's Rocket Raccoon, but that means when Wanted goes down, it's only going to be LinkZr with the heals, and unfortunately, Rocket Raccoon just does not do enough heals. Even when you are heal botting, there's only so much you can do. There's only so much bending you can do before you inevitably break, and so too do Dartmonkeys defense. And without utilizing any key ultimates from Windbreaker, save for that Fate of Both Worlds, they have so many tools to keep the pedal to the metal here.
Flat stunned before they can leap in and get the touch. Nice porcelain there from the side of Sakura to lock down the entryways into this zone. And now, with 5 minutes left, Windbreaker are pummeling their way through the Yggdrasil convoy.
Flat's gonna get D-bannered there, and D-life Devin with 2 kills, and yeah, it's not looking great for Dartmonkeys. They have to continue to stay on the back foot, but that's exactly where Munched wants you. Gonna keep going in deep. They can afford to. They're gonna go ahead and pop the ult from Dantuous. A lot of damage coming in onto him, but he is totally fine.
Oh, Gieorge met in mid-air. And you can't out-DPS the Star-Lord during that ultimate. Eskay is going to try and do it with the Gamma Beam, but nice play around the geographer here. Gives Dantuous enough cover to survive.
You're going to have a lot of utility on the side of Dartmonkeys. You're 7 seconds away from another BRB. You've got the Sia to try and put out a little bit of damage, but you need to keep Wanted alive while you use that and build up to that Mantis ultimate that Sakaki is already threatening to drive this cart home with. If you can't mirror it, this is where it ends for Dartmonkeys. 4 minutes in the time bank still, so Windbreaker have a few attempts at this.
Unreal damage coming through onto this Vanguard line. Both Gieorge and Flat suffering, unable to get the push out of mid-air. Never mind, I spoke too soon. Flats manages to grab that one. The Eye of Agamotto stuns multiple players. And now it's going to be Rigsychu trying to turn this one around with the final judgment. Eye of Agamotto, don't know if that hits anyone. Seems like it's just Wanted trying to burst Wanted through their own ultimate, but still managing to get it done. Rigsychu fairly safe here, even while getting beaten down thanks to the healing that's available. And Munched could actually be staggered here once they get into banner form, but it might be too little too late.
That's the BRB that ends up saving the day. I called out the mission where they had to protect Wanted until he can get to his ultimate. That mission failed, but courtesy of the BRB from LinkZr, you are able to get a second lease on life with that, but unfortunately, you're forced to use that ultimate. And have a look at Sakaki, by the way. Use theirs at the beginning of the fight, 95% to another one. You're going to be able to stagger some members out here and bleed some more time off the time bank, but inevitably, you're going to have to deal with that Mantis ultimate. And once you do, what tools do you have in the bank to try and respond with? You know, maybe you try and go for another one from Wanted, but that's going to take some time to match.
Eskay playing it sneaky here. Might look for a nice peek. There it is with the right click. Increased damage, yes, but a little bit too exposed. Sakaki, the second they pop the ultimate, burned down by the turret. Heavy weaponry is too much for a small Mantis.
Tried to say we are undefeatable, but only got as far as we. Didn't know Mantis was French, but looking very Swiss. Gonna be surrendering and going back onto the spawn there. And that's one way to match the Mantis, all right? Kill her and just force her to Ajax the ult, essentially. Now you've got one of your own, and now Dartmonkeys can really start to dig their claws into this point and make Windbreaker have to scratch and claw for every inch.
It's a legendary. Eskay might look for a nice bit of right-clicking here. The Unibeam does plenty. Dantuous healed instantly back up, of course. Good attention to detail from the support of Windbreaker. Eskay, oh, she can't escape. Is it do or die? Here is the question. Back into cover for a moment. Here comes the maximum pulse right onto the back line. But Sakura ends up being the one grabbing it. Nothing so much for Vision. Can't find any final blows here as Eskay continues to dodge away. The armor overload is over. Hulking out is Munched. The same can be said for Flats. Additional HP given over, but there's so much stun. Asleep. Oh, what a clap! Devin, too close for comfort. Flats just about gets out with his life, and that's going to be so much support ult charge.
And again, I want to highlight the angles that Eskay is playing this Iron Man from. She is playing in such a safe spot where even Dan Twist has to go in so deep in such an unfortunate angle to try and put any pressure on her. And even in Ultimate, Dan Twist does not want to take that duel. He knows he will get punished if he even tries it. So Eskay playing safe, but not safe enough. Munch still somehow finds it, but there's some bubbles to save her.
Wait, that was crazy from Flats doing the mid-air intercept to try and get that bubble off. There's the eye of it. Vishanti given over. The Eye of Agamotto sees all, but Sakura's going to see a potential time to counter-attack here. A good stun could be followed up by the maximum pulse, but Sakura's too low to try and risk it for now. Vision's got themselves an angle in towards the back line. They choose Rigsychu, and Rigsychu is recovered. Still traded now. Vision fell down for their efforts, and Wanted's got more than enough healing to keep Dartmonkeys alive. A 5-minute time bank has been reduced to 30 seconds. An ironclad defense.
And the kill there onto Rigsychu does unfortunately neuter the Mantis Punisher ultimate combination that Dartmonkeys potentially could have leveraged there, but there's still so much damage that comes out from that Mantis ultimate that it's not enough. You have to try and make something stick, and that coupled with the overhealth means there's so much to try and chunk through, and they're only gonna have one more opportunity to do it, and Eskay can put a big wrench in that equation right now.
Oh, munched the mid-air spittle, tanked the incoming nuke with the huge health pool that the Monster Hulk has. 1,000 damage means nothing when you have 1,500 HP. Dan Twist takes to the air, and aerial supremacy is well and truly going to be established. Gieorge is almost all out of shielding, all out of friends, and all out of hope. Eskay's still holding in the back. No ultimate to play with here, but does have an armor overload.
Rigsychu's locked in. Rigsychu can't get out of the spawn. There's portals on either side of the spawn door. Everyone who's outside fighting is all alone. The cavalry will not come.
They won't be able to get through at all. And that's going to be no touch at the end. Good portal play coming through from Sakura. And a 5-minute time bank is reduced to nothing. But still a completion for Windbreaker and a clear win condition. Any stop and Dartmonkeys are out.
I feel like the utility you're getting from this Rocket Raccoon from LinkZr is definitely paying off dividends, but not nearly as much as Munched, constantly being the thorn in Eskay's side. A very big thorn, mind you, where you're even having to have Flats try and go for some interceptions of the interception. Like, you know, this 2-man hit squad to just try and take down Munched and punish this aggression, but it's still resulting in Eskay's death more often than not, or forcing her to disengage and not be able to follow up on the space that she can create. You're relying so much on these BRB reses from LinkZr. You're relying so much on these Mantis ultimates from Wanted to actually get you the value that you really need to stay alive. And eventually, like I said, there's only so much bending you can do before you finally break. Fortunately for Dartmonkeys, they're able to continue to bend until 0.0 seconds in the bank. And then they finally break. They have a way forward. They can take this to overtime, and maybe with an with a time bank, can try and get themselves a crazy overtime push, but that's their win condition now.
Sakura securing 2 points with those portal plays. Yeah, that's a difficult one for me. Sakura securing.
A tongue twister. Again, though, yeah, great portal play. The tank play from Windbreaker has been stellar across the board.
Yeah, hard agree. This has been a very high-level game so far. Of course, this is a match to get into the top 16 of the tournament, so we are up in the upper echelons of all Marvel Rival players on the continent of North America.
And Eskay about to get wiped off the continent by Munched again if she is not careful. She's going to retreat back to spawn and get a little bit of extra healing, give a little bit of space, but that's exactly what Dan Twist wants, because Dan Twist knows if he doesn't have to worry about that Hulk on his groundlings, he can go ahead and continue to put out the damage.
Munched falling real low. Wanted frozen for about a moment, but gets out of there just in time to deliver over resources to those who desperately need them, like Eskay, who manages to find the baby banner with a well-placed Gamma Blast. It's weird that he would fall to those, given that they usually make him more powerful.
Well, the thing about Banner is that he cannot jump 50 feet in the air and snipe an Iron Man out of the sky, unlike Hulk, who was not available at that point in time. Homie was taking a nap. It was all up to Banner, and that's a nice revenge kill for Eskay. It's gonna fall, but it does allow Dartmonkeys to continue to keep up the pressure.
Rigsychu needs some attention here, falling a little bit low. There's the healing over time going to be delivered, and still there is a potential turret on the backside if it is needed. Shotgun using to try and keep Munched away. Unlimited ammo. This is Rigsychu's time to shine, but going up against this much healing could be difficult. Oh, it's another interception! Munched managed to grab Eskay out of the ultimate again. Yes, there's going to be revenge as Munched loses out on their Hulk form, but in the the end. It's a viable trade. A legendary Galactic hero in the back. One for Dantwist, maybe two. Everyone gets in behind the shield of Gieorge. Huddle in for the warmth of the strange.
Crucially, that interception onto Eskay, it was too little too late. She was able to find a kill with that ultimate, but here we go. Sakaki gonna go ahead and pop the Mantis ult, but gets slept on the way in. Dartmonkeys, they need to try and win this fight, but Vision's already found two.
Unreal entry there from Sakura once again. The teleport play is what makes the difference. I appear to have once again made things very slow. I don't know what keybind I'm hitting that makes this keep happening.
I think your camera's a little bit too damp right now. I'm gonna go ahead and pause.
Damp.
I'm paused at 143.
Okay, I am there now. What is it about watching the Hulk that makes this happen? I don't know. It is what it is.
Let me know when to unpause on your count.
What are you at?
143.
Okay. Unpause in 3, 2, 1, now.
Yeah, Flat's forced to pop the Hulk ultimate. Gets forced out of it. Dartmonkey's not able to get a whole lot of ground out of it. Eskay, though, has another maximum pulse that she can use here, and Munch already trying to juggle her out of the sky.
Have to see what they can do. For now, under pressure. Feels like Wanted is having to eat so much of this incoming aggression. Eskay brings out the armor overload. Still has the proton if it's needed. Maximum pulse cannon. Vision forced to flee away as best they can. Both of these armor overloads will be over shortly. The Iron Men are going to be a touch less dangerous.
You can see Eskay doesn't want to pop that ultimate, but Aya Agamotto going to come out. She's forced to use it, but Dantwist cancels it.
Once again, ultimate cancelled. Eskay just noted every time she tries to press Q. Moving forward, Vision trying to do the exact same thing. It's a personal delivery onto Rigsychu. The hit scan to counter me? Nah, mate. I ain't into that.
It looks so bad for Dartmonkeys right now, and I got a feel for Eskay because she's playing so scared now. On the defense, it was fine to play some of these angles, but on the attack, you can't make the space to get these ultimates off, especially when you know Munch has your exact latitude, longitude, altitude, and exactly how to get there in the shortest amount of time. It's so scary to even try to think about popping that ultimate, that by the time she actually pulls the trigger, you've already lost too much, and there's too much attention on you. You can't get any value for it. And there you go, Dantwist again, gonna try and pop the ult.
Eyes right now onto Eskay. There's nothing she can do but try and win the DPS stall, but the tracking's too hard against the iframes. Multiple stuns delivered. 3 seconds remain. Dartmonkeys, they may have been so close to victory, but they feel so far from survival. Windbreaker with a beautiful hold on Yggdrasil Convoy will keep themselves alive here in our tournament.
Apparently they found out the way to beat the Dartmonkeys was simply to camouflage their balloons, or, again, be a surface-to-air missile. Like I said, no matter what happens, I think Munch has to be the MVP of this series, because he was constantly a threat to Eskay. She never got to play her game the way she wanted to. The only time she was as impactful as we know she could be on the Psylocke was when she was able to build up those Namor whales throughout the series and drop them right atop Windbreaker, but it was never enough to get them that extra edge. And on the Iron Man, she was constantly hunted, constantly seeked out by both Munch and Dantwist and Vision. And while all that's going on, the ground game just isn't gaining any ground for Dartmonkeys. And such great macro play, such great tank play that comes out from Windbreaker to take them that extra distance. And unfortunately, on this day, Dartmonkeys just cannot match it, and Windbreaker graduate to the top 16. Like you said, some of the best we have in North America, and damn it, they showed it today.